Nightline.
You ever see Jukebox Saturday Night on Aurora on the weekend on cable?
I don't have cable, so unfortunately no, but I hear it's excellent.
Oh, it's terrific, and sometimes when there's a special occasion, Ken Sparks will have a theme night where there's 4 or 5 episodes back to back.
Oh, okay.
One after the other. And it's always a delight to cross to Sydney and talk to our buddy, Ken Sparks. Hello, Ken.
How are you, Philip? How are you, Simon?
G'day, Ken.
I hope that you're enjoying life down there in the beautiful city of Melbourne. I don't like the expression down there because you really should be up there because as far as I'm concerned, and I say this all the time in Sydney, Melbourne leaves Sydney for dead.
Well, apart from the harbour, in what way?
And we're on Relay to 2UE tonight. I just wanted to drop that in for you, Ken.
Well, I always think that as far as Sydney is concerned, I'm a Sydney-born and bred guy.
Yeah.
Is that Sydney's got this fantastic harbour, but it's got more brass than class.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
And I think Melbourne has always been so much more loyal to performers, and Melbourne would take on board a performer and love them for life regardless of what they do.
Yeah.
Yes.
And also you can get a much better crowd to sporting fixtures in Melbourne than you can get in Sydney.
Why is that, Ken? What is the reason why Sydney people just don't go to sporting events as much as Melburnians?
I think it goes back to their culture that they don't like to leave home, and they feel, and also the transport system here in Sydney is absolutely, as some people say, rat's dirt. It is very, very hard. Did you like that one?
I did. Very nicely cleaned, yes.
But it's very hard to get around.
Yes.
And they've made some improvements, but Melbourne was planned. Sydney was actually just picked up, and they said, well, the car went down that track, so we'll just make a turn into a gravel road, then we road, and then we'll tar it. And it goes off. But Melbourne was planned, and it's part of the culture in Melbourne.
That reminds
sport is really there all the time.
That reminds me of something Geoffrey Blaney once told us. I'm pretty sure it was Geoffrey Blaney. It was an historian of note who told us anyway that the difference between the culture of Sydney and Melbourne is that Sydney was founded by convicts, Melbourne was founded by gentlemen.
Well, that's very interesting. But, you look at the way in which people have dressed over the years, and people can come up with the excuse that it's the weather, but, the difference between the two cities. But I really think that, and the time I spent in Melbourne, I had a good time to and to look around and check things, and it wasn't just a fleeting moment that I was in Melbourne. And people just dress for the theatre. Here, people seem to dress down. Sure, there's fashion, and they're trying to get up a little bit, but you go to Flemington next Tuesday and have a little look at that, and you've got to say, my goodness me, you are magnificent.
Yeah. Now, Ken, we worried for you a week or so ago with those horrendous bushfires, because I think you live out of town, don't you?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I live in a place called Cockatoo. I call it Cockatoo Gully, and the bushfires really started to engulf. And the one thing that got a lot of people together, they started to think a little bit outside of themselves and think of the people who were really in the track of total devastation. And you've seen some of the photos, but of course, Melbourne has also endured so much, and Victoria has endured so much over the years. But this was one time that the people started to, again, put aside their own personal thoughts and say, let's spare a little bit of time for those who are suffering.
Of course.
And the other thing, too, is the incredible media coverage now.
Yes.
It's, everybody wanted to be there and reporting, all television channels and radio, etc. And newspapers. So it's brought a little bit more to the fore than it was many years ago when some of the bushfires were a lot worse than what they were here recently.
Yeah, well, thank goodness your home was spared and you were safe, but we were concerned for you.
Can Romero, I think that was the original one. Is that the original one you played?
Yeah, it sure is. Yeah.
Yes, I think it was, yes.
Yeah, and what I did, Phil and Simon, is I went around and I tried to get some really good footage of that particular track because we had so many requests for it. And it became a bit of an obsession with me. And then I went across here, there, and everywhere, and all our contacts. And we've found a couple, but we still haven't found that particular one, the Chan Romero one. And we're getting something, and this is not a boast, it's a fact. We've had now, through our emails since January, over 30,000 email requests from all the way around the country. And the difference is, it's unlike just a phone request. We get name, we get the demographic, the age demographic.
Oh, yes, I know. You super the names up during the clips, yes.
Sadly, Ken, they're all from the one person.
Yeah.
And recently we had, from the survey, the most requested track was 20 Miles by Ray Brown and the Whispers.
That's a surprise, yeah.
And that was the surprise. You know, we put it out and we teased people a little and said, oh, by the way, you know, what do you think will be the number one most requested track since January?
Yes.
And I think it really surprised people too.
Well, I did, but I appreciate the hippie shape in view of the shape that I'm in, and you know all about what happened to me in Hong Kong. I never got to Shanghai, Ken, as you wanted me to.
Oh, what a pity, because Shanghai is... But you can do it next year, and
I will.
It was a pity to hear about that problem you had there in Hong Kong, but I hope they looked after you.
Yes, they did, and we'll do Shanghai together sometime, because you have the best contacts up there. What's happening about this show you're importing to Australia?
Well, we've got a new Chinese show that's coming in. By the way, since I spoke to you last, I've now been appointed a correspondent for the #1 news agency in China, and I'm doing Australian stories. These are all positive stories, nothing political, you know, nothing, you know, that type of thing. I want to do the positive things, and so that's happening. And through my contacts there, people have approached me to produce another Chinese cultural show. One will go on television before the end of the year, which I've finished. And the next one will be in January, and then I'm also involved in the Chinese street parade that goes through Sydney for New Year next year.
Okay.
And by the way, it's the Year of the Horse next year.
I mean, before long, you'll be producing Sydney's Mardi Gras.
Well,
instead of appearing in it.
I think I'll tell you what, my hourglass figure has really started to droop there. I think somebody put the hourglass near a heater and it's all falling through somewhere.
Time's run out on your hourglass figure.
Now, listen, mate, we always enjoy chewing the fat with you. Bruce has a night off tonight, but just remind us about this wonderful jukebox Saturday night every weekend on Aurora TV. Yeah,
well, we look forward to it, and we've got a special, another feature coming up on the Best of Bandstand, and also John Michael O'Keefe. Oh, the other thing, we're getting a lot of reaction to a show that's coming up in your city, Shake, Rattle and Roll, at the end of this month at Her Majesty's.
That's right, that's coming in very shortly, yes.
Yeah, so it's all go, and as we used to say, green lights and blue skies, and we'll see you around like a record.
All right, now take care, Ken, and catch you in Melbourne sometime. Oh, by the way, the next Survivors Lunch will be on Saturday the 23rd of November. If you can make it down here, I'll take you to lunch.
Thank you very much. We will be trying, and all the best. And good to hear Simon on the air and yourself, and I hope you're fully recovered, are you, Phil?
Well, in time. It's only been 6 weeks so far, so I'm still a bit stiff and wobbly, Ken, but time...
So he's pretty much back to normal?
Time heals all wounds, Ken. All right, take care, buddy.
Phil, and all the best to all my friends in Melbourne.
Yeah, Ken Sparks.
Good on you, Ken.
Jukebox Saturday night.